Okay, so today we are going straight away into a practical exercise for all the analysis and all that. In general, I'll, I'll just share my screen for us to see a few things. This is how some data normally come around. This is even still looking a bit pretty good because it's been stylishly worked upon. Some data are dirtier than this, and it behoves on the person that want to work on that data to do some cleaning. But this has been pre-cleaned, if you allow me to use that word in a way. But what I want to say now is not about the cleaning. We will devote a separate class for data cleaning, and you could get on my page on LinkedIn to see a couple of videos I've done uh, regarding data cleaning exercise, and that can help. But aside that, in this series for discovery for people managers, I will still ensure that data cleaning as a topic is taken up for us to see how to deal with dirty data. So more often than not, when data comes this way, to a layman, it appears, quote and unquote, like barbarians speaking in thousands. And of course, we all know that that is confusing until some basic analytical tools are applied to see what exactly the data is saying. You can see all of this so massive, quite a number of columns, hundreds, and even probably over 1,000 rows and all that. It's very hard for anybody to quickly make sense of what is going on here. And that is why those ability to quickly analyze what this is saying using basic tools. I don't want to start using some data analytical tools that are not too common for people, because I want to bring people from the unfamiliar world of data into what data is saying. So I will prefer to use Excel for now. Then later on, if need be, we could try and use some other tools, but let's stick to Excel for now. So looking at this data, you can see it's quite voluminous and a bit massive, but there is a tool in Excel that could help to uh, categorize this data. We call it pivot table. So pivot table can help to easily see the summary of what is going on in this data, but that's exactly not what this class is meant for. I'm going to show us a typical um, data dashboard and how we can arrive at it. And in arriving at it, I'll take my time to start from the foundation level. So today, we are going to deal with that foundation level alone. But before I go to that, I just want to quickly give us a glimpse. See this data, as it is hard for me to even see the total until I start scrolling until I get to the, what is the last number here now? Almost 500 rows before I say, okay, it's 500. Instead of that, I can easily just use basic tools. For instance, the data is here. I can just say on the ribbon, insert, I pick pivot. Yes, take this table range. Yes, I need you to go to a new worksheet for me. So new worksheet is selected by default. Then I click OK. So it goes into a new worksheet as it is. I can label it. I want to name this pivot table that I'm creating. I can create as many pivot tables as possible on this singular sheet, but I will not advise that yet for people who are just beginning. You can use as many sheets as possible to make your work simple and neat and easy for you to access. But for professionals, they can have as many pivot tables as possible on a single sheet and they will not be confused. But for people starting off, you could just leave it just one pivot table per sheet. So here I have a pivot table already. This shape here is the shape of a pivot table. It's trying to help me categorize that very massive data. And I can come here to name that pivot table. I want to get some KPI, key performance index from that table. And I will just label this my pivot table KPI. Labeling KPI automatically to change this pivot table 2 into KPI because I've labeled it there. So this has changed to KPI as you can see here. And on my right side, you can see a pivot table field, which is being enlisted there. So those are the different columns of that table I showed to us of the data, which is here. So, and I can pick any of those column to, I think somebody wanted to join. Let me add the person. I can pick any of those column. Is the person. I can pick any of the column and just ensure I get out the ideal stuff from it. Okay, we can come back to that later. So I select the pivot table again. It brings me back to this pivot table field. So I want to get some KPI. So what KPI do I want? I want employee count. So I can search for it under that place. Just say employee. Okay, this employee count. I can drag employee count and bring it to this field. See this field here? Already pivot table has four quadrants. It has the filter quadrant, the column quadrant, the rows quadrant, the value quadrant. So I want the value. So I place it in value quadrant. You can see immediately right here, it's giving me the total number of employee in this very, I mean, the total count of employee in the very table I was analyzing. So, and that is just the sum. I can equally say, okay, what else do I want? I want to see the age. Okay, let me go and search for the age. What is the average age or the total age? There is age. So I can also bring age down to value. It's giving me here. Now it's giving me sum of age. Uh, Preferably I want something, not sum of age. I want something else about the age. So I'll come to the age right here on the fourth quadrant other values. I press the drop down menu. I press the value field setting. Then I tell it, don't give me sum of age. I want maybe count of age or average age. Let me say I want average age. Then okay, it will change that guy to me, for me, from that total sum of age to the average age of the entire workforce. And I can just adjust this one here into how many decimal point do I want? I can say just give me reduce the decimal point. So the average age can be 37 years old. So these are just basic way of coming up with pivot table. And for pivot table, I can list as many other KPIs like that, but I'm coming there. Well, for pivot table, you don't use values from pivot table directly on your dashboard. So you have to, I'm still getting some signals that somebody want to come in. And this thing is hiding somewhere here. Okay. So we don't use direct entries from what is it called from pivot table directly. So I can bring those value out so that I will later use them on the dashboard we are about to create. So a way to bring that out in Excel, you are to use your equality sign, equal to sign, helps you brings out whatever figure you want to pick. So I will just say equal to, then I select this guy and press enter. It will get me that figure from there, away from the pivot table itself. In the same way, I can say equal to, I select this guy and press enter, then to bring me the original number that is there, which I can equally round off to the nearest whole number that will give me 37 back. Then I can just label it here. So um, let me say that is sum of employee. Let's say sum of employee. Then this one is 2. the average age. So that's just basic things we could do with pivot table, and I can list as many other KPI as possible that I will need on my dashboard. But what I want us to do today is to see a typical dashboard. So this dashboard um, was one of the slides we used in the opening launch last week. And if you can see, let me go to presentation view. Imagine this dashboard, HR analytics dashboard, quite attractive, straight to the point, professional and mature. To an average mind, this looks so big or something a bit difficult to achieve, but it will amaze you how simple this is. More often than not, the beginning or the most important part of the dashboard is not necessarily all this beauty you are seeing. It is the framework or the layout that you have to begin with. Those KPIs I just did on the Excel, those are the ones I will bring down to this place, which is the dashboard. You can see on my Excel, I had as a total employee, I had 1470. And that is the same thing that they say. That's exactly how they got the 1470. You can see total employee. Same thing, attrition, age, and other. The age I also got was 37. You can see it was just using pivot table by 2 or 3 clicks, and you link them dynamically by pressing button, and it becomes something very meaningful and useful as a model for people to replicate. So what I'm saying is those dashboards look daunting at first sight, but in reality, they are not anything too difficult to achieve. It's just to know the process, know the rudiment, and follow it. So the most important thing here is to know how to create a layout. Okay, I figure out a dashboard. I want to have my header somewhere where the name of the dashboard is, then a few button on the left, then some 5 buttons arranged horizontally under it, then another 3. I say 5 buttons, I mean 5 container arranged under it, and also some other bigger container, 3 under it again, then another 4 under it. So I can figure out how those things, I can even scribble it on a white piece of paper and just draw it out. Then I can achieve that. Now, checking the tools that are common to us to be used to achieve this kind of layout. Excel cannot give you this kind of layout. You can do border, bolding the border and all that. You can achieve this kind of layout in Excel and hardly in any other Microsoft Office tool except PowerPoint. So I'll have to quickly take us to PowerPoint now to show how to achieve this simple border creation. And it is as simple as that. Just give me a moment while I move into my PowerPoint. Okay, so in my PowerPoint, here is it. This same layout is the layout of this dashboard we are seeing here. And this is just the skeleton. So how do we achieve it? So I'll quickly start from scratch right away now and do it again. And that will end today's class. Today's class, the primary objective is to show us how to do a layout that looks so beautiful, and you can now then start slotting in your values into it, and it will eventually give a very beautiful dashboard that are interactive because it will be linked with what we call slicer. Don't worry about the word slicer. I will explain it hopefully in the next class. Okay, so here I do a new slide and it's giving me this. So I have a plain slide here, and what I need to do is I need this entire workspace or this entire canvas on this slide. So by default, Microsoft PowerPoint has partitioned it by itself, but that is not a partitioning I want. So I click on it this way, I delete it. I don't want you there. I click on it also, the second cluster, I delete it, I don't want you. Then Microsoft has also mimicked the previous pattern I did with grid lines from the previous slide on this same file. So it thought I want to continue with that division also. So I actually want to continue with it, but because of this class, I need to remove it so that we can know how to achieve it. So I will put it back later on how I arrive at it. So I just right click on the grid line. I pick delete to remove that grid line. That one goes. I also right click on this one. I remove it, delete. That one goes. I right click here, then delete. That goes. I also right click here and delete. That goes. I equally right click this last one and delete. It goes. So I have a very plain workspace or a canvas to inscribe these layouts from scratch. Okay, very quickly. Most of the time when we do layout, we bring in some picture at the background just to give some form of solidity behind the layouts so that the things you'll be putting in front later on can appear strong and more legible. So I'll be bringing an image here now. So what you need to do that is just come on your ribbon, click insert, then on your insert, it gives you drop down menu. Then what do I want to bring in? I want to bring in an image. Look for image, which is picture. I already have an example of a picture on my system. So I was okay, search for this on this device to get me the picture. I know the picture I want. I've already labeled it as HR2. So I pick HR2, then insert. It gives me here. So this one unfortunately does not have the dimension of my canvas. Dimension is 16 by 9 by default if you don't adjust it. So I'll just quickly um, drag this up and down to merge the entire workspace. I just want to give it that background. Okay, these two, that is there. So after this, I also quickly want to now draw another rectangle on this just to cover it a bit. If I want to show this background later on in the dashboard, I can reduce the gradient and make it transparent to show this thing. But for now, I don't want it to confuse me. So I want to create another rectangle on it. So I come here, insert, I go to shapes. So I pick rectangle this way. So I can drag my rectangle. You can see my cursor. Just drag your rectangle and draw a very big rectangle to cover the entire space this way. So having it this way, as a design person, you want it to be well positioned on that canvas. So you click it, it's already appearing click here. You click it, then come up here and ensure your shape format is selected on the ribbon. Then you come to the right side, you see align, open the drop down menu on align, click align center one, then go again and click align middle. So that has positioned this new rectangle I drew just now well inside the workspace that I had behind it. So for it to look a bit different from that background, I can change the color. Already it's giving me option here on the color field. So I can say, okay, what kind of um, color do I want it to have? This, okay. So it come out this way. So how do we achieve this particular layer? That's our goal. That's what we are running after. So I'll quickly start making some drawings now. So the first thing to do is to figure out how many partitions is this thing. I can see now that I have like 3 different vertical lines I can draw. I can cut them later on because it is adjustable. You can reduce the length of all of those stuff. So I'll just go straight ahead and pick um, a line to divide it. But in order to be well guided in picking lines, I will introduce the grid line that I removed before. So to get a grid line, either a vertical grid line, you come to the open space right here on the top. By the time you right click, you have provision to pick your grid line. So you can go here and say, grid line, I need a vertical grid line. Pick vertical, it will appear, and that grid line is appearing directly in the middle. I need like 2 of those grid lines. So let me do another one. I right click again outside. I pick my grid line, which is vertical. So I'm having 2 now. What do I want to achieve? I want to divide this entire screen into 3 equal parts vertically. And I may not be accurate, but just figure it out slightly. That's how I figure out to achieve that layout of that dashboard. So it's appearing I have 3 equal parts now, even though it's not exactly accurate, but just figure out something close, which is fine. So as soon as that is done, I also figure out in that particular dashboard, how many horizontal lines will I have? You can see right from the header here, I have 1 horizontal line, 2nd horizontal line, then 3rd horizontal line. So I go ahead and draw 3 horizontal lines. So I come outside here also on the left. The one we did was at the top for the vertical. So for the horizontal, you come to the left, also right click, go ahead and pick your grid lines. Now you pick horizontal grid line. We have noticed we needed 3, right? So you do another one again. Horizontal grid, horizontal, my friend. Okay, yeah, horizontal. So I draw this one up to give me that other side. I draw this one also up to give me the the second one, which is for the KPI. Then I need one more. So I draw the last one, horizontal grid lines here. It comes this way, then I drag this down a bit just to divide the remaining part of the workspace into 2 equal half, apart from these first 2 that are at the top. Okay, these grid lines are deliberately drawn so that it will help me to now position my partitioning lines or bars, because I'll be following those grid lines, which will make it assume accuracy as it were. Okay, I now go ahead and press insert on the ribbon, go to shapes, pick a rectangle, and then start drawing something. So you just draw something hypothetically here like this, draw it across, maybe let it go beyond the border to the left and right this way. So I like to use 0.23 here for the width of the rectangular bar, which I already have. So for it to have some color contrast, I can come here and change the color into white, which is what I'm having now. So I have it as white. Then maybe the color of the rectangle itself can go somewhere in the border of this, or better still, I can make that rectangular bar to be close to blue so that I can have a color contrast, so that as I'm moving around the bars, it will be clear enough. That's what I'm using to demarcate. Now, having done this, it can be faster now. Just click on it, copy, Ctrl C, then paste, Ctrl V. It will duplicate the bar line. So quickly draw it, drag it here. This thickness is hard to achieve in Excel. So you can get as much thickness as possible from this PowerPoint too. So that's why PowerPoint is recommended for a standard layout for a dashboard. So, okay, I just admitted somebody else now. Where am I? Good. So I can go ahead and duplicate this again. Just copy it, copy, paste, duplicate it, then pick it again, drop it here. So for those who are requesting that they also want to be practicing as I'm doing this, no problem. I will share the video. You can follow the video later on, or you can use our next class to be as I'm doing it, then you are equally doing your own too, just straight away. But whichever way, uh, we are always open for as many questions as possible and guide along the way. Now, I have achieved the horizontal line. Then you'll be wondering, how am I going to achieve the vertical line? It's equally simple. Just pick any of them again, any of the horizontal line by just selecting it. Click it like that. It has selected it. I can see Control C, Control V. So it has duplicated it. Now, I want to turn this horizontal line into vertical. That's what I need to do now. So I've selected it. So I just click on this vertical arrow, this rotation arrow on top of it here. So I'm clicking it, then I drag it like this with my hand. Can you see? So I have turned that horizontal bar into vertical so that I can start using it to achieve my vertical lines too. So what do I need to do? I pick that guy, come here straight away, come and fulfill some mission here. So I drag it here. Then while I put it there, I want to quickly reduce the size. I'm selecting it now. To reduce the size, I come to this side on the menu under the ribbon. So the arrow underneath, so I can keep pressing the arrow. If I know the value, I can just type in the value there, but you can equally use the arrow to reduce the length of the bar this way. Then you can drag it back to hit so that you know whether it has achieved your length or not. So I still need more. So that way, I want it to come down this way. Good. Yeah, so I think this is all what I need here. So a point of caution here, you ensure that the bar can go outside the outermost border. No problem, as far as it is outermost border. But don't let any bar encroach into another line this way, into another container. No, it won't help us achieve what we need to achieve, because we want to dynamically cut all the rough edges of the horizontal border lines and the vertical border lines later on. So the rule of thumb is to ensure that no bar encroaches into another container. It can encroach out of the outermost border line like we have underneath here, but up, don't let it go like this. Just make sure it fits directly into the next stuff at the top, but at the bottom it can come out since it is the outermost borderline, no problem. The next thing I want to do is to copy this guy also, copy and paste, so that I will come and achieve the third partitioning for that third horizontal column. So I've selected it. What do I do? Just come here and adjust it. Press this arrow stuff down as much as possible till you get adjusted to that side that you want it. Good. So I have the middle already broken into the three different containers in the middle. So I can use that formation to do the rest. Okay. So I need to also now divide the one down, which is, that one is to give me like 4 container, not 3 as the third level. So I copy this guy, copy, paste, then I bring it down. There is something you need to come and achieve here. I want to divide this place. I copy it again, copy, paste, I move it to this side. So we can see now that I have done the third side, dividing into 3 equal parts, then the bottom, the one at the bottom into 4 different containers, just like we have here on the dashboard. 4 down, 3 in the middle, then we have 5 up. I need to go and do the 5 up now. Then the topmost is now 2. So how do I do that? Just go straight. It's as simple as also copying this little thing. Copy, paste, then drag it up. I want to divide this guy into 5 equal spaces. So start from somewhere like here. Don't forget I said it must never encroach into another container unless it is encroaching out of the outermost border. So I must adjust this length until it gets to the appropriate. So I think I need, let me guess 2.5. Let me see if 2.5 is going to, or it's too short. Yeah, it's too short. So I can increase it to 2.7 or 6. Okay, perfect. So I want to divide this side into 5. I copy and I paste again. I want to divide this guy into 5. Second one, I copy and I paste again. Okay, I copy and I paste again. Sorry, that thing wasn't picking. I'm picking it now. Good. So I've gotten the 5 different cluster for that side. I can adjust it so that they all look to have the same size in a way. Okay. Then the uppermost one is to be divided into 2. One is longer than the other. So I copy and paste again. I take it up. So one is longer than the other. So I have that. So I just reduce this size here too. You can see I've done it. Size has been reduced. Voila. Now I have, let's check what we want to achieve again. Presentation side, 2 at topmost, 5 next, 3, then 4. Those are the partitioning. We have achieved the partitioning that we want. Okay, let's now clean up this and make it look more tidy. So what do we need to achieve here? It's very simple. I want to trim all these lines extending out, but I don't need to be doing it one by one. I want to do it all at once dynamically. So how do I achieve that? I go ahead and select this rectangle that is light blue, already selected. Make sure you're pressing your control key down. Then you select every other partitions in there. I pick this one first. I pick this guy next. I pick this guy next. This guy next. This guy next. This until I pick all of them. So it can be tricky. So you just try and make sure everything is pick. Pick. I think that's all. Is that all? Yeah. So I release my control key. Then I go up. Okay. Shape format is selected. Merge shapes down here under design. Then you click undo. So maybe one of those things are not selected. So I need to go back, select the inside, press your control key down, select this, select this, select this, select this, this, this. So the moment that inner rectangle is not selecting, so you have to go and select it again, or else the command will not likely work when you are trying to make it work at the end of the day. Okay. 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 Good. I'll just select subtract. Can you see everything is trimmed up? Oh, this one is not trimmed up. Maybe it wasn't selected initially. Let me see if this can help. Oh, okay. Was it not included before? Okay. I think that was not included before. It was omitted along the way, but everything is in now. You click subtract, then we have the perfect looking. Let me put it in presentation slide so you can see it better. This is the dashboard. I mean, this is the layout I'm talking about. So what do I need to do next? I don't need this grid line again. So you now go remove the grid line so that I can look neater. Minus, I mean, delete, remove the grid line, delete, remove the grid line, get away, get away, get away. You can see how neater it has become. And now we have achieved our dashboard layouts. And this is as simple as anything anybody can do. You can go over this video again to see the processes I've gone through to show how this design come alive. And you can go ahead and change this color, the color of the background to anything. Just right click on it and pick format shape. It brings out these options for you. You can tweak around your colors here. You can turn this to yellow, turn this to purple, turn this to green, turn it to anything you want to turn into that of your choice and of whatever you want to achieve. And that is the beginning of the whole dashboard exercise that you need to start putting figures on by just using your equal to sign to link on Excel. So I'll just copy it as it is from here and put it on Excel and continue inserting those uh, figures from the data on the Excel data sheets. Thank you all for your time. This is the end of the class on designing a beautiful layout, which is the foundation of a very attractive and insightful um, dashboard. Thank you. See you next class.